Is it possible for you to boost your FICO score by hundreds of points using the power of AI without spending money on those expensive online credit repair platforms? Well, the answer is yes, and in this video I'm going to share with you a demo on exactly how you could use the power of AI without spending any money. So let's get into it. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about what my methodology is in case you're brand new to my channel. And that is this: I do not believe in online disputing. I believe that online disputing is probably the fastest way for you to solidify things on your personal credit report. And so unfortunately what a lot of people like to do is the cheap and easy way by basically submitting online disputes through the online platforms such as Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, and then they're shocked and amazed to find out that none of the stuff that they're disputing actually falls off their personal credit. Well, my methodology is different. I actually use the old-fashioned way of fixing credit, which is to actually send the letters to the credit reporting bureaus, which is Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, and actually send them by trackable mail through U.S. Postal Service. And so in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how, through a demonstration, how you can actually get these legitimate legal, using legalese and cited case law and so forth, how you can create these letters for yourself that you can ultimately send to Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, to whereas you don't have to pay a high-priced online credit platform that uses AI to help you fix your credit, because all of them will use online disputing, which I just mentioned does not work. Instead, you can use the low budget, or I should say no budget way of actually doing letters, physical letters that you'll print out, that you'll mail by trackable mail. And I'm going to show you how to use the power of AI right now. So this is a demonstration. I'm going to hop on my laptop, which is right here, and I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm going to be doing inside of the ChatGPT system, and then I'm going to toggle between ChatGPT and Microsoft Word. So let's get into it, okay? So first things first, you're taking a look at the ChatGPT system, and for those of you that are not sure exactly how ChatGPT works, it's fairly simple. You just go to chatgpt.com, you start yourself a free account. You do not have to pay the $20 a month or more to be able to use this system. You can generate your dispute letters using this platform and then converting them or transferring them over to Microsoft Word. So let's start off with the following prompt. Create a dispute letter that I can send to Experian using their post office box in, they're located in Texas, Allen, Texas, to dispute the following accounts for being inaccurate, and please cite relevant federal and case law to bolster my, okay? I'm going to put capital 1 for the amount of, I'm just making some stuff up here, with partial number. And then always use the partial account numbers, because if later on you're going to be claiming that this is not your account, then there's no way that you're going to ever know the full account number anyway. So don't ever admit to the fact that you know the full account number. So always use the partial account number as it shows on your credit report. So with partial account number, and then I'm just going to make up a number, and usually they'll just have like a bunch of X's. And I'm just going to put Barclays for the amount of with number, I'm just going to put this XXXX, just use exactly the way it shows on your personal credit reports. And then my full name is Jane Amber Doe with date of birth of 01/01/1980. Whoops, 1980. And then you're also going to put with social security number 3111212. Okay, and so it's going to create a letter for you. So let's go ahead and use that prompt, and we're going to go ahead and click go, and it's going to create a professional letter for you showing your information. Okay, exactly the way it's supposed to be, the way you're supposed to copy and paste it for your Microsoft Word document. Okay, so you can see that it does everything for you. Basically has your information up here. If anything's incorrect, like, oh shoot, I forgot to put my phone number, you could just basically correct all of this when you get it over to your Microsoft Word document. Okay, so this is basically what it's going to look like, and then you're going to go ahead and copy this, and you're going to go ahead and paste it. Now again, this is something I talk about all the time, where you need to have a copy of your driver's license that has your current street address on it. If you don't have a driver's license with your current street address, go get the damn update on your driver's license or your state ID card, please, because this will disallow them from messing around, because many times if you do not include corroborating evidence of your identity, then they will kick back your dispute with a nice little letter that's a form letter that basically says, we do not believe that this is you, we believe you might be working with a credit repair company, blah blah blah, and therefore please identify yourself and show proof of your identity. So they're going to just buy themselves an extra 30 days to not have to do your disputes, which is a waste of your time. So you want to always make sure that your driver's license has your current address. If it doesn't, go get an update on your driver's license. Should not be that difficult, folks. And then have a copy. I like to have 2 copies of utility bills. But if you live with somebody and they pay all of the bills and the bills are in their name, then the next best thing would be like a a car payment statement, a credit card statement, an insurance payment statement, anything that you might have that is current within the last 30 or so days that has your current address. So if you don't have utility bills, which are the best option, then you want to have something else, maybe a bank statement or something like that you can put. Supporting documentation basically means that if you have, say for example, you're claiming that you had some kind of identity theft, or claiming that maybe you already paid something, then you would include this down here. I wouldn't worry about that because you don't really have any of that at this point. So you basically copy all of this, and the cool thing is, look, it actually has the federal statutes. It also has cited case law here, case law to support your dispute, and it makes it a very strong legal letter. And then what you do is you go over here to your Microsoft Word area, you go ahead and paste this down, and then I like to have, so you're probably wondering, well, Monica, what's going on? Why does it have this handwriting here? Because this is the next thing I'm going to talk about. Whereas when you paste this down, I strongly urge you to go to a website. It's 1001 fonts. I'm going to go ahead and put that down in the description box below. And before you open up your Microsoft Word document, go ahead and download this particular font, which is my favorite. It's called Permanent Marker, and it's under the handwritten fonts. So when you go to 1001 fonts, you can actually look for it. So I'll show you what that looks like. Okay. So you go to 1001 fonts. So here on 1001 fonts, you take a look, and it's free. You can get a lot. Some of them will cost money, but you don't have to worry about those. See where it says handwritten up here in the top here? You want to click on handwritten or handwriting, and you basically want to look for fonts that really look like handwriting, but that are legible. They have to be legible. People have to be able to see them. Okay. So you could take a look at the ones that you can, benefit from, and you can download any one of these into your system. So say you like this one. I think it's a little hard to read myself, but maybe you like this one. So you could click on the download button right here, and then what's going to happen is it's going to go in your download file, and all you need to do is click on your download file, and basically it will load it in. So you basically go here, and you click on the thing that has a tiny letter A right there, and you click on that, you double click on it, and it will download that directly into your system once you click install. So you see install right here. This is what the whole thing looks like, by the way. I don't like how it cuts the letters off, but once you click install, it'll install it into your certain software, namely Microsoft Word is what we're concerned about. But that's why you need to make sure that you have your Microsoft Word system closed down before you do this, before you load the fonts in. So then once you have that, you can basically have this handwriting font look to it. And I swear by this. I know some people are just like, this is just ridiculous, it's a waste of time, sometimes it's harder to read, whatever the case may be. But I swear by this, that it actually does enhance your ability to be able to get things off your personal credit. The reason I say this is because if the system itself, when they feed these letters into the computer system, if it can't read it, if the computer system and the bots cannot read it, then a human being has to process your dispute by hand. And when they process disputes by hand, I notice much more stuff falls off your credit. But if you're just like, Monica, I hate this font, this is ridiculous, I'm just going to do a professional letter, fine, go ahead and do like a professional letter like this, that's fine, it's completely up to you. I swear by it, I know it works, but you know, maybe you think that that's a little bit harder to read, in which case find a different font. I know I have several fonts in this system that I've used to be able to help me. Attack of the Cucumbers is also a really good one as well. This one might be a little more legible. So again, it's called Attack of the Cucumbers. I don't know why it's called that. I don't know who's attacking cucumbers, but that's what we have here. And then that might be a little bit more legible. So then you want to print off this letter, and you want to, here's the really important aspect I want to talk to you about. Because it's good to sign your letters in black or blue ink, but I don't ever want you to use your legal signature, especially if you're ever communicating directly with a creditor or a collection agency. Never put your legal signature, because I know a lot of them are really shady out there. They might actually lift your signature and apply it to an actual contract just to show proof that you owe them money. I've heard of that happening before. It's never happened to me, but I've heard of it happening a lot. So I have this thing about never using my legal signature. So you can use initials or some scribble just to make it look like you signed it. They can't identify what your legal signature is. They process thousands of these per day. But you want to put something to make it look like a legitimate letter. Just do not use your legal signature. Just get into the habit of, whenever you're dealing with any kind of credit issue, whether it's the bureaus or collection agencies or creditors, you don't want to use your legal signature on any of these letters, okay? So I like this one. Again, it's called Attack of the Cucumbers. I think the letter looks great. And so what I could do is then print it out. And what I would be doing is I'd be putting this in an envelope, and I would be sending this with a copy of my driver's license, with a copy of 2 utility bills that show my current address, and I would be sending it trackable mail. Okay? It doesn't have to be certified mail. So if you know that it's not going to be certified, then you're not going to be stating that it's certified in the letter. It's, you know, because I know that over here on ChatGPT, it actually said something to the effect of it being sent certified. You don't have to send it certified at all. I don't know where I saw that. I guess I didn't see that anywhere. But you want to make sure that it's just sent trackable mail, okay? Trackable is the key. So then that way you know when they received it. And then you wait 30 days, okay? So you wait 30 days to find out whether or not this fell off, whether or not, you know, they updated it to where it's completely gone. Ideally, it'll be gone, because if these are closed accounts that have been negatively and adversely affecting your personal credit, hopefully they delete them altogether, like they didn't exist at all. But maybe they'll actually do a dispute, in which case you want to be able to validate or verify how they were able to do the dispute. So if they update this and they update it to where they're claiming they did a 30-day investigation and the creditors got back to them stating that you owe them the money and showed them proof, then the very next letter that you want to create is this, okay? So please create a method of verification letter asking Experian to furnish of their investigation of the above mentioned accounts. Okay? So again, you got to wait 30 days from the date that they received it, as per the trackable information located on the USPS.com website. So once you receive something, because they will send you by way of mail exactly what the investigation showed. Now maybe one of the accounts came off, in which case you would have to send this for just the other account, okay? So say both of them stayed on, and you want to do now your method of verification. So again, you wait 30 days from the date that they received the first dispute letter, and then now you can send them this. You don't have to do the handwriting or any of that stuff with this one if you don't want to, but basically you just want to have a new letter, okay? I would open up and have a new, obviously a new document. You want to save all of these. But you basically have now a new letter. This is called the method of verification request. And by law, you have the right to know exactly how they performed their investigation and whether they did it as per federal law. So you basically want to send this after 30 days if these did not fall off your personal credit reports. Now maybe only one did, so in which case say Barclays fell off but Capital One's still on there, well then obviously you would get rid of the one and everything like that. So basically if Barclays disappeared, then you just basically have the one, okay? And I think they mentioned both. No, they don't. Okay. So, okay, yeah. And so basically you just have the cited case law right here, or the cited statute right here, and that's it. Now remember what I said before. You want to make sure that you just scribble your name or use initials. Don't ever use your legal name or legal signature on anything that's going to the Bureau's creditors or collection agencies. I don't trust any of them myself, so that's why I suggest that you don't do that. And so you basically send this, and again, it has to go trackable mail, all right? It needs to go trackable mail so that you can verify exactly when they received it. Now, what if still this does not fall off your credit or does not favorably update to your benefit? What do you do after this? Well, this is how you get another letter, okay? So we're going to go ahead and have ChatGPT, and you want to have a free account with ChatGPT, so then that way you can name all of these different things that you're doing within the system, and you can recall this entire conversation that you have with ChatGPT if you want to continue on doing additional letters in this stream of questioning, I guess, if you will, okay? So we're going to go ahead and say, please create a very strong and firm legal threat letter to Experian in reference to Capital One account and how their failure to proper has caused harm to my personal credit, the credit terms and job undue, and cite case law and statutes in reference to their, what do I want to say, in reference to their, to abide by federal law in their investigation process, okay? I know that seems kind of long, but you know, you don't have to put all that if you don't want to. But I just wanted to make sure I threw everything in there just to make sure they did it correctly. And you're going to be doing one of these, by the way, for each one of the credit reporting bureaus. I'm just focusing on Experian right now. And so what's cool is that if you stay in the same line of thinking with ChatGPT, it will recall all of your Capital One data, the balance information, everything, okay? Certain case law is also cited as well. So again, you do the same thing. You basically just copy all of this, okay? And I love this letter because, you know, and you might want to reread it. Sometimes there's inaccuracies with ChatGPT, but I found that it's extremely accurate. So this is catered to you. This is all about your information. So what you might want to do is just have a separate Microsoft Word document that has a listing of all your accounts on it. Just a listing of all your accounts, and that's it. So then that way every single time you're having a conversation with ChatGPT, you can recall that or copy and paste that list so ChatGPT can fill that into the letters as well as your personal data and information, so you don't have to change brackets or change any other information. And the letter's literally ready to go for you. So it has all the information here, including cited federal law, including cited case law, and therefore it's a really solid legal threat letter. And again, you never use your real signature. You print these out. Always send them by way of trackable mail. Does not necessarily have to be U.S. Postal Service priority because that costs money, but you can walk into the post office and send a regular number 10 envelope by way of trackable mail if you're willing to stand in line and save some dough, okay? So this is how you do it. This is your final letter. And then what happens if they still don't update it? Now, by now, they're likely going to do something with this because now they know you're serious. Now you're one of what I call the 1%ers that actually knows the law, consumer law, that can work in your benefit. So they're not going to mess around with this. They're going to take this very, very seriously. So you might find that these accounts are updating favorably all of a sudden, because the last thing they want is to deal with a lawsuit, which would, by the way, the lawsuit would be in your county, not in Texas where Experian is, not in Georgia where Equifax is, not in Pennsylvania where TransUnion is. The lawsuit would actually be in your local area, in your county where you live right now, because that's where the damage is being caused. The damage is being caused to you and your ability to get credit in your area, your ability to get a job in your area, and it's damaging you and affecting you in your area. So that's where you would file the lawsuit. And then so you wait the time that it states in the letter, which I believe is 15 days, but I would wait 30 days just to see what they're going to do. And then if it still doesn't fall off, then and only then you can consider a lawsuit. So you can go to squabbleapp.com to seamlessly and effortlessly go ahead and file your lawsuit. This is for small claims. Or you can just hike yourself down to your local courthouse and go there and actually file it in person, or you can do it online because many of the courthouses are allowing you to do your filings online. And don't be afraid of filing the lawsuits. So many people are definitely afraid of the consequences of filing a lawsuit. And I'm telling you, nobody's going to hurt you. Nobody's going to come around and try to, do something bad to you. This is the way that you can get one up on the credit reporting bureaus and even get paid in the process, because you can get paid upwards of $10,000 for each case. So $10,000 from Experian, $10,000 from Equifax, $10,000 from TransUnion, depending on what the maximum is allowable for punitive damages in your county, which is going to vary across the country. So in some states it might be $7,500, some states might be $5,000, but in many states it's about $10,000 that you can get from the credit reporting bureaus for the damage that they have caused to your credit reports. Now you're probably thinking, well, Monica, these debts are actually mine, or these are legit debts. Well, then you don't have to file the lawsuits if you don't want to, but if you really are serious about doing something about your credit and doing it quick and getting that FICO score up by hundreds of points over the next, say 60 days, this is the only way that I know how to do it. And if you want to be all Pollyanna and, goody two-shoes and don't want to go through the process of the disputing, and you'd rather it affect you, and you'd rather pay 30+% on interest rates for credit cards and, car payments and so forth, and you rather deal with the consequences of your mistakes, then go ahead and deal with the consequences of your mistakes. But please note that that's going to cost you. And if anything, it's going to cost you big, because what ends up happening is that sometimes people aren't able to make the payments. Sometimes people start falling behind because the interest rate's 35%, and it just screws you over even more, and there's just no point. Listen, folks, we all make mistakes, and I know that there's so many trolls that like to type comments saying, well, just pay your bills, deadbeat, and all the stuff that they say, and it's just like, but people go through things, people lose jobs, people have some medical emergencies. They say that medical debt is the biggest reason why most people end up having to file for bankruptcy, because of the extreme debt, hundreds of thousands of dollars sometimes that people are in debt that they'll never get out of. And so sometimes it's just simply not your fault. It's not your fault that you lost your job. Maybe they were just doing heavy layoffs. It's not your fault that you ended up getting into a massive car accident and you were half dead in a ditch and you were in a coma for 3 months in the hospital. Things do happen. So I try never to judge, because I don't know what's going on in people's personal lives, and all I'm here to do is try to help you pull out of the situation the best I can, and I'm sharing everything that I know. Especially the beauty of it now is that you can use new technology to help you write these letters in the most kick-ass way possible. And this technology wasn't even available at this level even a couple of years ago for you to help fight and use the consumer laws to your benefit, so you can actually start increasing your FICO score. Slowly but surely, but you got to start somewhere. So if you like the content, please give me a nice thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel and drop me some comments down below on what you thought, and if you have any specific questions about your credit. And in the meantime, make sure you get my free dispute letter. Some of them were actually created on ChatGPT. Some of them were created by my attorney. Some of them were created by myself years ago. So you can get a whole hodgepodge of different dispute letters that I use. And at least it'll give you an idea of the types of letters that you at least need to ask ChatGPT for, because maybe right now all you know is about the dispute letter and now about the legal threat letter. and the method of verification letter, but you don't know about any other letters. And there's a ton of other letters that you need to know about. So go to getdisputeletters.com down below in the description box below this video. There's another mirror website that I have in case you have problems getting to the other one I just mentioned. And then get those dispute letters and get rolling with this. The faster you start the process of fixing your credit, the faster that crap will fall off, all right? Also, make sure that you sign up for my free school group, so then that way you can get my free copy of my Credit Millionaire book as a download. So go to school.com/Monica Main. That's school.com/Monica Main down below. There's over 4,000 of you, almost 5,000 of you right now that are in this group that are getting my free courses, getting, you know, extra information about side hustle businesses to start making more money, stuff about fixing your credit, my free books, and then now I have some brand new stuff that's going to blow your mind. So you definitely want to join the group as fast as you possibly can, because at some point in the near future I'm going to start charging for it, and once you get in for free right now today, you literally lock yourself in for free forever. So go ahead and join my free group right now. This is Monica Main signing off, and I will see you in the next video.